live. Peter, what is up?
Yeah, Jonathan, what's up, man? Thank you for having me.
Of course, dude. I've been waiting for this moment, like pretty much since you told me about it.
Awesome, man. I'm really happy to be on your show, bro.
Of course, bro. You've been liking it so far with the episode with Dominic?
You know what? I watched that episode and I was just like, man, they are talking about all the most relevant things right now that's going on in the social media world. And I just want to be a part of your podcast because I want to contribute to this show and hopefully be a recurring guest.
Of course, bro. Of course. Without a doubt, you're going to be a recurring guest. I was telling Dominic, too, I was like, bro, you're always welcome on the show. Especially with like social media and everything changing. It's like, dude, we can talk about almost anything. There's always things changing. So I was like, anytime, any place, welcome back.
Awesome, man. All right. So,
but yeah, dude, you were telling me you first podcast, right?
this is my very first podcast of my life.
Nice.
Yeah.
What do you, any expectations?
No, not at all. You know, I mean, I thought we could go into some of those funny, like podcast games that we've seen on other podcasts, but let's just ride it to go natural and see where it goes.
We'll go natural. Like I said, you are the third episode, so it's still definitely evolving. We're getting there, but let's get kind of into it. We got 30 minutes with you today. Sort of little introduction into who Peter is, what you do, sort of what you do nowadays for all our listeners who might not know who you are.
Awesome. So I started doing videography like Jonathan at like a really young age. I went to all 4 years in high school. I was in my video tech class. And afterwards, I went to college for computer science. And somehow during those 4 years in college, I found my passion and love for videography again. And I kept getting all these big gigs and kept excelling at my skills. And I started straying away from coding and going back behind the camera. So I gotta say, you know, it's been a journey. What I learned was that just like, no matter what you do in life, your passion will always find you. And no matter what, you know, especially if you feed it and you don't give up on it. And the only way that can kind of foster is if you're not a strong person on your own, you will find your group of friends who will make you become that person. And it's vice versa too. If you don't have a good group of friends, you're gonna grow yourself. So just be really self-aware in those moments of your life, because you're not gonna. If you are self-aware, you're not gonna miss those pivotal moments that make you into the person you are. So yeah, that's the beginning. That was the beginning till now.
It's actually funny because I was having that same conversation with Dominic. Because I was like, yo, back in like early days, I think it was like 10, 11, like VHS kind of days. Like I remember we have some home videos of me just like carrying like my mom's like camera and like little kid stuff, right? Just in the backyard, you're doing these like skits, kind of directing. And then after that, you know, I just dedicated my whole life to like sports, soccer, moved out to Texas, was just doing sports. That's all I had in mind. And then of course, you know, you have the whole like after high school, go to college. And then I got to college. I had no idea what I wanted to do. So I was like, well, I don't want to just waste a bunch of money here and not have a job after. So then I majored in engineering.
Nice.
And then
that's a good one.
It was a good one, definitely a little challenging. And but I mean, I think it was just something I had to do. It wasn't really like a passion, except for a long time I had a passion for soccer.
Yeah.
And then I graduated. Well, before I graduated, you know, I picked up a camera, stuff like that. I was just kind of messing around with it, little videos with some friends, like the BMX videos, little travel videos. And then weirdly enough, like right after college, like just that desperation of not having like a job, not getting anything.
Yeah.
I kind of was like, well, I need to make some money. And then I just got like a little job here with working with some friends, just shooting the video. And then from there just kind of picked up. So it's just kind of like funny how I said, just kind of like the circle of life again, like something that was such a long time ago, saw no real future in it, kind of like brought me back into pretty much now doing videography full time, podcast, hopefully can get that there as well. So yeah, I definitely understand that feeling.
Yeah, dude, that's amazing. And don't, you know, correct me if you do, but like, do you find yourself using your engineering degree a lot?
Honestly, I don't think so. My engineering was
getting close to using it again?
was industrial. Now some of it can apply to like most stuff because it's just making like pretty much a business more effective, efficient, stuff like that.
Yeah,
and I think not too much like any technical stuff, but just overall like the basics of like just critical thinking. Because I think I've had a discussion with other people about like the value of like college, really, whether it's like, can you learn most of it at work, or do you actually need to go through 5 years? I think there's particular like careers where like law, medicine, stuff like that, even engineering, the more like technical ones, probably like mechanical, aerospace, like you do need to have like some sort of structure. I mean, I'm sure you can learn it on your own. It just might take like really long. But I was just kind of like, I think the most important thing is you really learn is kind of like group settings, working with teams, and really just like critical thinking, which is like in engineering, especially like it's really like breaking down problems and really finding solutions to that. So that's kind of what I mostly take from it. Besides that, there's nothing really like technical. I mean, there's some things here and there where I try to make like the business more easier, more efficient, and stuff like that. But usually a lot of it is just learning as you go. You just never know. It's those failures that come along the way, because you have a plan of what's going to happen, and then nothing works. Like ads on social media, you're just like, yo, I know how to do this. You go in, you go out, and then like nothing happens, and you're just kind of like, all right, let's take a step back and see what we need to do, and then kind of like learn from there.
There you go. It's your thought process. You got that thought process from engineering, and now you can apply it to everywhere else in your life. So that's really important. I think like for me, it's fighting, like MMA and whatnot. Not many of you guys know this, but like I try to spar once a week at this place called 4 Ounce Fight Club in Houston, Texas. Our head coach is Daniel Pineda. He's like the lightweight and featherweight champion of Fury right now. And he has like 8 fights in the UFC. So the guy's legit, you know? And every time he knocks the air out of me, every time he kicks me in the face, like it's like a reality check, you know? And not that this is like the same thought process as engineering, but like my thought process is just like, man, if I'm not scared to, you know, do a 5-minute round with this guy, there is no reason why I should be scared in a board meeting when I'm delivering like a huge quarterly, a quarterly report or whatnot, or like giving a pitch to like a CEO about my services and whatnot. There's no reason. And that thought process that you get from like one aspect of life can be applied to so many other aspects of life. So yeah, man, that's awesome. That's really impressive how you did that with engineering.
I think too, it has to, I know like especially fighting and just fitness in general, there's a lot of discipline that's involved in those kind of like sports activities. And it's not exactly like the same, but like engineering is like for anyone who is attempting to it and isn't probably like the brightest, but is just gonna tough it out, like it takes a lot of work and like dedication to put yourself through like 4 years and be disciplined to do all the work. So I think that's something else I got from it. Just that whole like, I put myself like 5 years A&M, which is a decent like engineering school, and actually graduated, that having like that never quit mentality and discipline to kind of finish things through. Yeah. That sort of was like helped me just in this kind of business where there's like certain months, like, the freelance world where it's like, there's months, maybe a month where nothing comes in. You're just kind of like still, you don't know what's going on. And then maybe those months where like, it's at the very last day of the month where like you close like a pretty big deal and you're like, oh, damn. Yeah. So I think that has helped me too, like just the discipline, which I can see it like in fighting, being disciplined and being like committed to something is also like a strength to have.
Yeah, that's right. So write that down, guys. You need inspiration from all walks of life. That's pretty much what we're saying.
Pretty much, people, get yourself some discipline and you'll get there.
Yeah, go to college, you get punched in the face. One of the two, it's gonna help.
But yeah, dude, now that you're talking about fitness, you said you're into, is it MMA fighting, or what are you guys doing nowadays?
Yeah, I do a lot of MMA now as like a conditioning thing, and I was like just really into it last year, and I kind of slowed off. I've kind of slowed down that for a while, but now I'm just like focusing more on, just staying in shape. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I still love to spar, and I still love to do jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, and boxing. As far as like competing again, though, that's gonna be a while. Yeah.
Dude, I saw those videos on Instagram. You were just like always in it, especially in your stories. You're always inviting people to come. I actually always kind of was like, I'm kind of interested, but it's been so long since I've like even like, I mean, I work out here and then, but like cardio is just not good. And I used to run cross country and run a bunch, but like nowadays, and it's a different kind of cardio. It's not just like running. It's like,
oh, nice.
You gotta like, I'm talking about like MMA. Like you just like those movements in there. It's just like, it's different when you have someone on top of you and you're trying to like fight for your life. Like so.
And by the way, guys, it's 1 p.m. every Saturday at 4 Ounce Fight Club. come through.
Yeah, we'll put it in the show notes. We'll put that link in the show notes, their website and everything. Time's open. So anyone who's listening in the Houston area, if you want to go spar with anyone there, maybe Peter, he'll be there.
And I'll record it.
So when did tricking start, dude? Because I know there's a bunch of...
Yeah.
Dude, I love... I remember we went to LA?
Yeah.
And you were just out... Dude, honestly, that was the first time I knew you even like were doing backflips and tricking and all this kind of stuff. Because before that, I was just kind of like... You were Dominic's friend. Kind of like just... I know you were into filmmaking and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But there wasn't... I didn't know you that well. And then we get there and you're just like...
Hey guys, watch this.
You guys watch this, and it's not even like a normal backflip anyone learns. Like this is like I'll show you guys some videos in the actual video podcast. Like it was intense.
Oh yeah, man. Tricking's like a blend of martial arts, gymnastics, and breakdancing, right? Essentially, and it grew like really well from the 1990s to about like now present day. It's still growing. There's more leagues offering competitions. There's more sponsored athletes. The sport's developing on its own. But in my peak of tricking, I was. There was a move that's called a triple cork, and I was the 25th person in the world to land this move. And basically, from like a layman's definition, it's a gainer, which is a backflip off one leg. And while you're inverted in the air, you spin 3 times before landing on the floor again, right? So this move, the first triple cork was landed by a guy named Scott Skeleton on May 25th, 2010. My triple cork was like October 20-something. In 2012, but we had a Facebook group, and for like, can you believe that, man? Like for like 2 years, it was like if you weren't a triple corker, you could see people getting added into the group on Facebook. So it was like my dream to be added one day. And after like 2 years of just falling and like twisting my ankles, I had like a really scary Achilles scare, like an potential Achilles injury, and then. Once I got over those injuries, I finally got to land my first triple cork that year in 2012. And when I was added, when I was added to the triple cork group, man, I felt like if I could do this, I could do anything. And like I said, it goes back to like those different aspects of life. Like you need to bring those experiences and then replicate them into whatever else you're doing in your life. So then you can have that confidence and ego, to make sure that you're going to succeed.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I saw that video you sent me, and I was like, dude, it's amazing. So when did you start tricking?
When I was like 10, man.
You were like 10?
Little kid.
It was just like a passion you had, or is it?
I did more parkour in the beginning.
Parkour?
Right?
I think, yeah. I tried parkour once. It wasn't very successful. But, okay, so you were 10, and then you just kind of like...
I'll get back into it.
Okay. I mean, maybe, but I need to probably drop like 30 pounds, get a little more in shape, and maybe...
You'll lose it in the process. It's so...
I used to try to do that one where it's oriented. like a little edge and you jump almost like a Kong. What's it called? Like a monkey, kind of like
monkey vault.
Probably something like that. Or you do 2 hands and full body under yourself. I think I was successful like once at it, like over my sofa or something like that. And then after that, just kind of like. And I tried breakdancing. I tried all these little things, but I don't know. It kind of goes back to like if it's your true passion, like go for it. If not, just kind of like try it out. My thing is always like people are always trying to see what they want to do in life. They don't know what they're doing. They're confused. My thing is just like, I'm just going to try everything. Kind of like this podcast right now. I always wanted to do it. I actually got it. But I would not know if this is something I would like if I didn't do it. And now that I'm actually doing it, third episode, like they're actually pretty fun to do. Like having conversation with people, getting to know their life, their story. Like it's something that I enjoy a lot specifically. So definitely trying out a lot of things is always what I recommend to anyone who's just like trying to figure out what their passion is and stuff like that.
Nice. Noise
here. We're keeping it silent for a little bit.
As you can see, I came really unprepared, guys. So I was born at an early age.
That's good, bro. That's good. I mean, soccer, when did I start playing? I started playing like 5. So I understand the when you're little and you want to like try something yourself.
Dude, yeah.
But you're not doing it nowadays, or you're kind of doing it?
I'm doing it more like I'm keeping my body in shape. So then whenever I actually have this other project in the back end of like my goals to create a stunt team in Texas and to have like local Texas stunt people get hired out for Hollywood productions and to attract Hollywood productions to Texas, knowing that they have these resources to that they can that they can use, like stunt people, so they don't have to hire other people from out of state and whatnot. Of course they can, but it's like, oh, they also have, it's like, oh, we also have the Third Coast Alliance stunt team to, draw talent from. So that's kind of like what I'm building up to right now. So I still can do a lot of my flips and whatnot, just not like the world-renowned stuff, right? Because that stuff is like,
takes dedication, a lot of always practicing and stuff like that.
yeah, like it's like how LeBron James has to train like every single day to still become the GOAT. I'm not training at that level or caliber anymore, but I certainly can still like do a windmill dunk. I can still do all those crazy tricks, double cork and like 1022. That's the trigger terms for all this other stuff. But yeah,
I mean, for all you tricksters, you probably know what that means. But yeah, dude, honestly, like if you haven't seen his videos, I don't know if there's any stuff. I'll put one up of the one he sent me, the triple cork. Was it triple cork?
Yep, the triple cork.
Triple cork. If you're interested in seeing that, maybe he'll give some tips and advice at the end on like if you're trying to attempt or get into tricking, what's a good way to start. But I see you've also been getting into fitness recently. Was it day 8 yesterday or something?
Yeah.
I keep up with Peter.
Dude, yeah, I don't know. I do this thing on IG story where I just say like, oh, day 8, day 9, day 10 of my fitness journey, so I can just hold myself accountable.
Does it keep you accountable, motivated?
Yeah, and now I'm realizing like, oh, I want to hide my body when I do these posts. So then when I'm at day 20 or day 25, like it'll just come out of nowhere.
It's gonna be like shredded,
like Goku mode.
Like the Hulk there just starts ripping off his shirt for the story.
Yeah,
dude, there should be like a filter or like the Avengers and all that kind of stuff where you just kind of like transformation.
Yeah, you hear that, IG?
Dude, did you hear about has IG? They taken away the likes already? Because I know they were trying to take away likes and stuff like that, like actually like displayed.
No way.
Yeah, you didn't hear about that?
No, I still see it, but that's probably because I haven't updated my.
So I mean, I don't know if it's gone into effect, if it was just a rumor or something, but I had heard that Instagram, especially with nowadays with the whole like mental health and stuff like that, people really getting like attached to likes and doing it more for the followers and the views and stuff like that.
Yeah,
they're trying to take away like likes. I don't know if that's maybe for that reason or for different reasons, but recently I started noticing on my Instagram that it just kind of for a video, not for video, for anything, maybe it's just for videos, but it just said views and like no likes, or it might have been a photo. It just says like one like or something. So I could be wrong. I have to double check. Maybe it was just for videos.
Yeah.
But I was kind of like, dude, Instagram is making some moves right now.
Yeah.
Changing the platform.
I guess you have to simplify like the way you can see your analytics so then people can engage a different way. But I know for sure there's a huge focus on IGTV right now. So if you do IGTV work, you're gonna get more traction towards whatever your socials are, or to your Instagram basically. Because if you have an IGTV post, you can post it onto your IGTV, or if you have an IGTV video uploaded, you can post on your IGTV post. I mean, what am I saying? As an IG feed post, and from there that'll be like whatever. So what is it? It's like an average of 10 minutes. The first 10 to 30 minutes of engagement for a regular IG post kind of sets the tone for your post for the rest of the day. If it's a lot of engagement, it'll continue being seen by new people, and the opposite if it's not. So with IGTV though, if you post an IGTV post on your IG post, then you'll actually get a longer duration, a window of duration for more people to see that content, because IGTV wants you to be on that platform more. So that's a little social media tip right now. What's going?
I hope you guys are taking notes with this one. But yeah, I have noticed like IGTV like blowing up recently. Like I put a couple posts on IGTV. I don't do it too much.
Yeah.
But I have noticed like IGTV is like boom. Especially with, like Gary V. Dude, I just see like he just IGTV like all the way.
Yeah.
Like a lot of his videos now are like IGTV.
It's probably someone from Instagram telling him to do it, or like he was the first one to know about it. Yeah.
I mean, he's always in the loop. Like always, like I love his videos, and it's like, damn, dude, this guy is just always a step ahead. I mean, it helps to have a team.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, and I think that's an important feature about being an entrepreneur is having a team and not just doing it on yourself. Because by yourself is like, I think in the beginning it's good, but if you're trying to scale up, like that's when you start having issues. It's just like, yo, you're gonna burn out, or you're gonna do something.
Yeah, you just need a PR guy. You need like a customer support guy. You need like an email funnel guy, and then you need like your content producer, and then there's you, the talent, on top of everything. So, and then if you can direct all those people, it's like scaling up shouldn't be a problem. at all. I'm starting to realize that too. Like starting my new media company, I was just like, man, there's all these jobs I can do by myself. But if I had a company and I trained like 2 guys from the very beginning, they'll always be loyal, right? Because they know like where their lineage is coming from. And you don't have to worry about like them leaving too soon. Because look, this is a fact about life, guys, especially in the corporate world. Everyone has a day when they have to leave, okay, for their family, for the rest of their life, for their career. And you shouldn't take it the wrong way. Like you should be like, man, I helped grow that person to contribute back to this world. All right. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing if, that if your employees are eventually going to leave you because they're too skilled and you can't pay them enough. Your job, however, is to like, if you want to keep them longer, pay them more. And how are you going to pay them more? You got to scale up and you got to be more efficient with your business. Anyways, so yeah, like that's why I had to start Kaizen Media House, my new production company. I had to scale up.
Well, that's actually where we're heading, right into your business. Can you tell us a little bit more about sort of the inspiration behind it, the direction you're heading to, any particular reason? I know you were doing corporate work before, right? Or were you working with a company
I was.
doing as a like content producer and stuff like that?
Yep, I was just like just a content producer for a supplement company for 2 years, EHPLabs.
So I guess just kind of give me the general, like, what was it like going corporate, working there, and then now starting your own like company, business? What are some differences you've seen, sort of like pros and cons of each? I know you're still kind of starting it, and there's a lot of like, I guess, learning along the way, but sort of so far, what have you seen?
In any corporate setting, right, you're going to have a bureaucracy. You're going to have like a system. And in the system, you either float or sink, especially when it's a startup environment, right? You have to make your own systems, and no one's there to guide you through it all. So what I learned was how to organize myself, how to be really punctual, how to be like really hard on deadlines, and to hold that same kind of caliber towards everyone else around me. That way, everyone, there's what's that word called? There's coherence with the business when it comes to delivering on a campaign. So I brought all that over into Kaizen Media House, kind of just like the organization stuff. Obviously, like I'm not running like 30 employee company or whatever, but I kind of have a feeling where it should start. Kaizen Media House. Kaizen translates to a Japanese philosophy in the business world, where you focus on continuous and never-ending improvement. From whether you're like the janitor of the company or the CEO of the company, everyone is striving to be more every single day. And I just think that kind of applies to my life. Like every single day, I've always been trying to get stronger, to get better, to get smarter at whatever I'm doing. So I want my clients to know that like the next video I do for you is going to be better than the last one I did last week, whether it was like a nail salon commercial or like a really badass fitness commercial for a clothing brand.
It's nice, bro. It's actually crazy. Like Kaizen, like I was in industrial engineering, and a big principle is like lean. So if you know like Kaizen, you know lean, and that's what I was like, yo, I've heard that word before, but it's good that that's how it came from, because it was in Japan. It was in Japan, especially like Toyota back when the manufacturing company was starting, and they applied all those lean principles, stuff like that. Dude, if you haven't read, I have this book called, it's not a book, the PDF, The Lean Startup. Amazing book, especially.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, dude, it's like one of those like must reads, like business books. I haven't really been a reader, but recently I got into reading, and especially like just books that provide value, like business books, like personal development books, stuff like that. And that's actually like a really good book. I mean, it's a little like, I wouldn't say outdated, but some of the principles still kind of hold to today. So if you're interested in reading like a book, like that one's like really, really good one to read, especially like startups.
I'll take it.
You'll take it? All right. I'll put that in the show notes, guys, if you guys haven't read it. It's definitely a must read.
Yep.
So is there anything in particular that you're specializing in, or right now is it just anyone who comes to you, you're going to shoot a video for?
Man, yeah, I'm definitely very picky now about my projects and whatnot. And I think I want to focus really on narrative commercials. Like you know what, guys? Like I'm shooting today the last part of my restaurant's commercial, and it's gonna set the tone for the rest of the projects we're doing for this year. And it's about a really cool. I'll just give you a little rundown. It's about my friend Calvin. He's a research scientist at U of H, and in the commercial, you see him walk in, and a voiceover of his mom starts playing. And there's like an English version and a Vietnamese version, right? And the monologue goes something along the lines of like, hey son, I know you're going into the lab really late tonight, and I know that you're going to do the same boring old test and probably mess up just as much as you did last week. But before you do any more good in this world, I just want to let you know that I'm proud of you and that we love you. And no matter where you go in your life, that will always be behind you. So it goes off a little bit like that. I improvised a little bit. But like he falls asleep. He's working in the lab. He falls asleep in the lab. He wakes up, and the first thing he does is he calls his mom. And you see his mom, her voiceover is like playing the whole time during the commercial, right? And when he calls his mom picks up, and the next scene is they're at my restaurant eating pho. That's it. That's it. It's just like, there's like this stereotype with Asian parents that they're like really like mean to their kids, and to put the pressure on them is to make them better. But in this commercial, I kind of wanted to like go against that grain and just say like, hey, hold on. We love our kids. My parents love me, and et cetera. Like, and they are hard on me, but they do remind us that like they're proud. And that approach to my restaurant's commercial, instead of like throwing meat in slow motion and like cilantro and like making it whatever, like the cliche stuff, is like what I think is going to differentiate my restaurant from all the other restaurants in Houston, And we're going to have like this little series of these stories into like a little campaign for my restaurant to revitalize like our online presence. So yeah, that's like stuff, those kind of stories and those kind of commercials are one of the few projects like you can only get with Kaizen Media House.
Dude, it sounds amazing. Is there like a creative process you have usually before any campaign, any video, where you're just kind of like like a quick like couple seconds of like, okay, this is kind of where I'm start? Because if you're a videographer or a content creator, artist, whatever it is, creative, once you go through like those initial phases, like at the end of the day, like equipment, everything transitions, like it gets so good before like the story is what's important. And can that message be like put across to like whoever's watching it? So is there anything that you do in specifically?
Of course. Yes, definitely. For one, so you got to set like this atmosphere, right? So if you're like in a board meeting, right, you kind of have to get everyone on the same level. My board meetings are small, it's just me and my friend Isaac. So we'll put on like Christopher Nolan's soundtrack or something for a movie. Or like, there's a few producers I listen to on YouTube. They're like small time, or like they're not as followed, but they're great people, like just hidden gems. I'll put on their music, what I think will be like the commercial song. And then the script and story develops. I always start with music. Music's just like, music is life, right? So once I listen to the song, I can see the story happen in my eyes or in my mind. And it's so weird. It's just one of those things, like just like how freaking, every other artist has their creative process with like, I don't know, like going out and being inspired, like falling in love and like, or doing hallucinogenic drugs. It's like my process is music. Like I gotta listen to a song first, and then the script comes into my head really easily. If I don't have the music, it's like there's a lot more motivation I need to bring upon myself.
Dude, I think that's how kind of I am too. Like, cause like I don't know if you know this, like filmmaking and stuff like that. I mean, it started as like a little kid, but it was just kind of goofing around, and I think it really got like solidified when I went to EDC back in 2012.
Hallucinogenic drugs. No, I was kidding.
Of course. Well, that would be later for episode in the future. But no, like, I mean, I've always been a fan of music, EDM in specific, like that energy you feel. And to me, when I was like in the crowd and I saw all the DJs and stuff, I was like, dude, I want to feel like what that feels up there. Like not even just like the energy and like just that perspective, that, and not just like a VIP ticket backpack. Like I want to be like a part of it. And I attempted to do music for a little, and I didn't really attempt it. I kind of like was doing some like just regular DJ stuff, probably like a month or so, and was like, yo, this is actually like, it's difficult. Like everyone's doing music, like it's really difficult. You need to put a lot of time and effort into it. So now I was like, what else could I do to be a part of it? Yeah. And then that's kind of where like filming was, and I started filming Alex with the DJ stuff.
Lauderhouse,
shout out to him. And then